The last time we saw Michigan football in action was in a thriller Orange Bowl game. Unfortunately, Wolverines went down 32-33. But it's a new year, a new recruiting class, and what better way to celebrate the recruiting efforts of Michigan football by hosting another Signing of the Stars event. And to help me break down this 2017 class are our Michigan recruiting interns, also known as the War Room Boys, Sam Popper and Jared Kohlenberg. Thanks, you guys.
Thank you, Danny.
So last year, Michigan had Derek Jeter, Ric Flair, Tom Brady all welcome these high school kids into Michigan. What were your initial thoughts on the event?
It was pretty crazy, having a bunch of different stars in for the event, and the really cool thing was they were from just a bunch of different sports, a bunch of different fields. We had singers, actors, we had a NASCAR driver, a pitcher for the Texas Rangers. It was definitely cool having everybody into Michigan to celebrate the event.
I mean, we really didn't know about half the people that were coming either, so
kind of found out on the day of.
Yeah, it was pretty exciting to be in the same room as those people.
The big name that everyone was waiting on was #1 overall recruit Rashawn Gary. He wasn't at the signing event because he announced that day, but if you could compare anyone in this class to Rashawn Gary, who would it be?
I would compare Cesar Ruiz to him. He's the best center in the country this year, a kid from New Jersey but went to high school at IMG Academy in Florida, and he's a center who can really do it all. He can move well, he can block well, and he's a guy that could come into our offense and really have an instant impact.
Yeah, I mean, Cesar's a great player. I also probably put Donovan Peoples-Jones up there, wide receiver from Detroit. He was one of our top targets all season. We recruited him for like 2 years, really, even longer. He's one of those talents that only comes around once in a while. So I think that he's going to have an instant impact this fall at Michigan.
All right, so we're going to break down the offensive side of this first. You guys mentioned Donovan Peoples-Jones.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about him is, he can get up to catch the ball, he can move fast, he can kind of run through his routes, and he's a physical wide receiver on top of that. And he's not the only good wide receiver we have coming in. I mean, we have a kid, Tariq Black, from Cheshire Academy, and, he's kind of that same wide receiver. He has great hands, and he moves well.
All right, so we got another guy, Jerayman Hall, another Michigan guy, 4-star. He's an offensive tackle. He'll be playing next to Cesar. So what does Jerayman bring?
Jerayman's a cool kid. He's from Oak Park High School, actually same high school that my mom went to. Nice. And he's a really funny kid. He'll come in here and ball out. Big, strong kid, and he should be good on our O-line. He's
a big, tall kid who's going to fill out and become a bigger kid. So we're excited to get him in the weight room and really see what he can do.
All right, and Jerayman will be playing next to Chuck Filiaga. Yes, he's a Texas kid. We got some Southern boys in the class. He'll be offensive tackle. What do you guys have to say about him?
So Chuck is actually originally from American Samoa, and then lived in California, moved to Texas for his senior year of high school. And he's like a monster. He's like 6'6", 330. I mean, his hands are like that big.
Anyone comparable on the team to him right now?
I would probably say Grant Newsom, just in size.
Okay. So a playmaker for the Wolverines, hopefully who will come in soon and do that. He'll be playing with Tariq Black, DPJ, is Dylan McCaffrey, and he's our quarterback, pro style, from out in Colorado. Everyone knows the last name. Everyone knows his dad, his brother. What do you guys have to say about Dylan?
Yeah, just meeting the family when they came to campus, it was pretty surreal just knowing how, successful they are in football and knowing that Dylan's coming here. He's a really smart guy, knows football all the time and wants to talk football all the time. It'll be great having him. I mean, we have good coaches that he's going to be able to learn under, and he can progress, and he can be a really, really good quarterback for us.
Yeah, it was great bloodlines. I mean, that's first and foremost. Just a lot of talent in that family, and he's a guy who's a leader. He's proven that everywhere he's gone for camps. At his high school, won state championship. I think he's going to be a guy who can come in and compete. He'll get stronger. He'll get faster, and we think that he's a guy down the road who could really lead us pretty far in the college football playoff. So.
Another commit from out west, running back Omari Samuel is another 4-star. So he has some big shoes to fill.
He does.
He has Chris Evans leading the way, who can definitely help him out. But what does Omari bring to the table?
One cool thing about Omari is, he's from New Mexico. One of the cool things about pretty much this entire class is, we have commits from 13 different states, which is really cool. And he's from an area of the country where where football is, really popular down there. And he's a guy, if you look at his highlights, they're pretty surreal. He's the one, he has great change of direction. He can move side to side really good, and he has really good vision to kind of see holes and get downfield.
And he's a big dude for his age. I mean,
yeah, no
physically it looks like a college running back right now. So
right.
We're excited at what he can bring to the table. Hopefully, compete freshman year and see what he can do.
All right, now you have Joel Honigford, 3-star offensive tackle, another offensive line guy. What is different that he might bring to the table?
Versatility, especially for an offensive lineman, you get good at your craft and you get good at your individual position.
And he's also another big, tall guy. I think he's 6'6", 6'7", and he's athletic. His dad played basketball at Ohio State, so that was kind of nice. Yeah. And he committed early on and then kind of was very adamant about saying it doesn't matter if Ohio State were to come in and offer. Like, he's a Michigan guy, so we know that he's ready to come in and play. We put a lot of time into recruiting him. He's an Ohio kid, so it's always nice to get a recruiting win down there, and we're excited to see what he can do. I think once you get him in the weight room, get him really going, I think he could be again versatile along the line, play guard, tackle. So we'll see what when he comes down here or up here in the fall.
Right.
I think it'll be exciting.
Right.
Yeah.
So we just mentioned all of the early enrollees or hard commits. What's a guy that we might be waiting on our toes for come February 1st?
Well, the first guy I got to mention is Nico Collins, another wide receiver, and he's 6'5", 195, looks even taller in person, from my opinion. He's from Alabama. Right now it's kind of a battle between us and some SEC schools, but he's someone who's visited campus 4 times, who hopefully, we'll be able to pull out.
We're also going after Oliver Martin out of Iowa City, Iowa, another wide receiver. He's got great hands. He really did well at the opening finals this year, which was a competition amongst, it's like a 7-on-7 tournament. Essentially, it's a big deal that they do every year for the top players in the nation. He played really well, and actually a lot of our commits endorsed him to coaches, saying we should offer this guy, and he did get it. And we're still working for him. We're battling Notre Dame, Michigan State, Iowa, so that'll be another tough one. But the coaches are going after both of them. So we're looking to add another wide receiver in the class, and we think one of the 2 of those guys will be a great addition. So
yeah, I mean, how could they not choose Michigan? It was just announced that Michigan will be heading to Rome come springtime. It's a little change up from Florida, a little farther away, longer plane ride. But next time on Wolverine Women, I'll have these 2 guys back. Hopefully, we'll discuss who the guest will actually be on this year's show. They haven't come out with the official roster yet. But I'm going to send it over to our very own Kalina Sedke, who's with freshman goalie Hayden Levine from the Michigan hockey team.